protesters are about to take a stand in Tel Aviv to mark the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. It's been 20 years since the General Assembly of the United Nations adopted a resolution officially designating this day on the 25th of November each year. But 2 decades later, the battle to prevent and eliminate violence against women and girls around the world remains a challenge worldwide. So for the latest, we now cross to Habima Square in Tel Aviv. We're joined by our diplomatic correspondent, Eli Hachenberg. So, Eli, what is the latest there? The last time we spoke, protesters were set to gather. What can you tell us what's going on at the moment?
Yes, Benita. So despite the stormy weather here in Tel Aviv, you can see dozens of protesters arriving here to Tel Aviv to protest, as you've mentioned, against violence against women, rather. We have here with us Bracha Barad, the executive director of Kulan organization. So a very impressive turnout, especially with this weather. What's the demonstration about? Because we see the alarming figures of domestic violence, but what exactly are you demanding the government to do?
I think the first thing everybody's demanding for the past, decades is that there will be assigned budgets for this issue, because there have been committees and there have been decisions. Even yesterday we heard of money being transferred to this committee, but the fact is that we haven't seen for the past decade or so any budget towards this issue that is saying we need to prevent violence, we need to protect women from domestic violence, we need to protect children, we need to prevent these things, we need to educate differently. There are lists of things that needs to be done, and nothing is being done except for, people coming and getting PR when the moment is right about saying certain things. What we need is action.
We're also seeing an intensifying campaign, I wouldn't say against the judiciary, but encouraging the judiciary to increase punishment when we're talking about domestic violence. Tell us about this a bit.
Well, I think we can see that sexual assault violence and domestic violence, they get away easy. They go home, they don't have mandatory, recovery programs and stuff like that. They just go home and then they go back and do the same thing. So what we need to do is start thinking before this problem and not wait for it to happen. I think that giving more reasonable punishments for people like this is the way to prevent people, but it's a way to deter people. But if we want to prevent it, we need to start way before the punishments. The punishments is just the tip of the iceberg.
Speaking of deterrence a bit more, we're also seeing more public campaigns, let it be on the online sphere or even the public sphere, against the attackers, and not just talking about the victims, but rather publishing the names, the faces of the attackers themselves. What's the rationale behind it?
Well, I think it's a very impressive progress of the past year or so, that the public has realized that what we need to see and what we need to put the spotlight on is the people that are hurting and not the people that are being hurt and what they are doing wrong. And I think, first of all, we deserve to be protected. The government isn't protecting us, the courts aren't protecting us, and we don't know how many violent people are around us all the time. So what we can do is publish their names and publish what they did and not forget. Hopefully, this will also give the victims, a sense that somebody's got their back.
Definitely. If anything, the sense of togetherness is being underlined. Bracha Barad, thank you very much for your time. And again, Benita, an extremely stormy evening here in Tel Aviv, but still you see this turnout. Obviously, an extremely pressing matter, especially in the past year, as we're seeing an uptick in domestic violence due to the coronavirus pandemic and the lockdown which followed. An important day, but obviously a struggle that will continue not just today on this international day, but every day here in Israel and around the world. Benita.
Thank you so much. And of course, more updates from our diplomatic correspondent.